guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So today, bashers versus race cars. Okay, now before we get into this, because I know this question is going to get asked about Nitro. Why is there no Nitro here, Kev? Well, I don't have one, but why? Okay, here's my reasons why I don't have a Nitro. Not that I'm totally against them, okay? I do work on them, all right, when they come in for repairs, because I know what I'm doing, I know how to work on the things, and that's enough said there. Why I don't personally own or have Nitro? Too noisy, too friggin' dirty, too much extra money to spend on chemicals to clean the damn things up. They're slow, and the motors blow up a lot, okay, if you pin the crap out of them. I'm a speed rush junkie, okay, so keep me away from a Nitro machine or I'll blow up the engine really quick, okay. Brushless, not gonna happen, okay. Limitations on where you can run a Nitro machine. Big limitations, okay. So when all me and my electric friends get together, we can all go anywhere we want with these. When you have a Nitro machine, you got to leave it at home unless where you're going that day, you can run a Nitro machine, okay, with your friends. So that's the thing. Nitro can go on the roads, like on the streets, parking lots. I wouldn't probably suggest going on the beach with them and getting them full of sand, but yeah, some people do it. You got to keep them away from water, away from snow, because you start filling that thing up with snow and you're going to cause more problems. Nitro machines just, and the expense of the fuel is crazy. For a gallon of fuel, I can go through a gallon of fuel in like 2 days. You know, that's like about 60 or 70 bucks for a gallon of Nitro fuel in Canada. Okay, depending where you buy it, of course. Nitro fuel also has a short shelf life. Whether you open that bottle or not, the longer it sits, okay, and you got to store it in an appropriate temperature in order to get the longest life out of it, okay, because the longer it does sit, the weaker it gets, which means the crappier your engine runs, okay. So the newer the fuel, the better performance you get. The older it is, the crappier the performance. And any Nitro person who will man up will admit to this, okay, that is exactly how it works. And it's no different than gasoline in your regular car. The older the gas, the crappier your engine performs. Same as you run low-grade gas in your car versus high octane. The high octane, you're going to get more mileage, better performance, less carbon buildup deposits in your engine, etc. Okay, one of the things I've done for many years is what? Automotive mechanic, small engine mechanic. Okay, among other things. So I know this stuff, and Nitro is no stranger to that. So, you know, sitting the stuff on the shelf is not good for it. You got to use it as soon as you can, otherwise it starts getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And then you'll start thinking, well, I got to keep retuning, Because there's a lot of guys out there that run Nitro that, believe it or not, they whine. Why isn't it running right? And you know what? Half the people that are Nitro freaks don't even ask him how old his fuel is. I mean, come on, think outside the box a little bit here. How old is the guy's fuel? Why is it running like crap? Because his fuel's probably too old, okay? It's not that he can't tune his engine. He probably can, right? But he could also have issues with the engine too, even if he's using brand new fuel, right? Because there might be one or two people among that will actually say, you know, how old is your fuel, okay? And how long has it been sitting on the shelf at that store too, which is another thing. Like I said, opened or not, that stuff gets weaker as it sits, okay? So, very important. You got to know this stuff. So anyway, so those are a lot of the top reasons why I have nothing to do with Nitro other than I repair them when they come in, right? That's it. So, but otherwise I primarily run brushless adrenaline junkie machines, but I also run crawlers too. But today we're talking about racers and bashers. This is a basher. This is a racetrack. This goes on the racetrack to compete against other high-class race machines. This one here is not allowed to. Okay, this is not Roar Race approved. This is, okay? Big differences, right? Now, this I picked up because I wanted to learn to race on tracks, because I can't do that with this. So this thing I can though, and I'm going to set it up. I'm going to put the money into it. Initially, I'm going to set this up back to stock with the exception of my hubs for my wheels inside are going to be aluminum. I'm going to just go right ahead and do that in aluminum. You know, and I'm going to replace a few other things. And there's some parts missing from this. I got it as a roller, so, you know, and I've already figured out, by the time I get this thing all up and running and ready for the track, even just as a, you know, basic setup, but with a track-ready motor and battery and all that jazz, I'm going to be into this for a little over 500 bucks. And that's fine. I don't care. That's part of the price you pay. And these things, more expensive for parts, too, than bashers, okay? Now, other difference between a basher and a race truck, or a car, buggy, whatever, okay? Basher buggies, right? Traxxas has basher buggies, right? And then you got your race buggies. When it comes to taking this thing out, okay, now either machine can go in equal amounts of terrain. I can take them both in snow, I can take them through mud, I can take them, drive them into the lake and drive them back out again, that sort of stuff. This thing I can jump it 30, 40 feet in the air if I so choose to, and minimal damage, or probably none depending on how it lands too. This sucker is going to be a real expensive repair if I try jumping it that high. These machines are made for where? The track. They are not made for going and jumping them 60 feet in the air, or jumping them off cliffs, or they're not bashers, they're race trucks, okay? And that's a big difference when you're looking at it. There's a lot of people that actually misbuy. They think brand name means everything. So people will go out and buy a Losi. They'll go out and buy an Alfa, Mogan. They'll go out and buy the Team Durango, high-end, Kyosho, right? And they'll beat the snot out of these things, and they're breaking the crap out of them, and they're wondering like why their bill keeps getting higher and higher and higher every time they take it out. It's because they are not built to the same standards as a basher machine, okay? These are race vehicles, okay? This is a basher. Okay, and there's other brands out there other than Traxxas that are nothing more than bashers, right? And they're built like bullets, the Traxxas. I mean, I've done some serious nasty stuff to this thing already, and I still haven't been jumping like big jumps with this yet, but I've seen a lot of people on YouTube jumping the 4x4 VXL off some pretty nasty stuff and having either no damage or very minimal. Okay, the other advantage that I like about Traxxas, at least in my town, because there's no hobby shop, I tried to open one, but that kind of failed because everybody wants to cheap out and go online, but whatever, you know, that's why hobby shops shut down, you don't support them. But I don't care, I just fix and mod the stuff now, and I have more fun with that, and I get more time to play with my device. So anyway, with jumping this thing, I've seen some people do some serious stuff with this and it not break. And I've seen the breakages, which are also very cheap. Okay, like drive shafts, stock drive shafts for this thing, they'll last you a long time with a 2S battery. You throw a 3S in this, you better have some MIP shafts or Intigi shafts, something that's made out of steel. Okay, because these shafts will not handle 3S very well in either this truck or in the Stampede VXL. Okay, or pretty much any VXL system that runs 3S, right? It doesn't matter if it's even a buggy. The shafts are not going to hold up to the 3S very well, so you're going to have to upgrade your shafts if you want to run 3S. Also, this thing is mentally retarded and out of control on 3S, okay? So, that's fun. I'm a speed junkie, okay? This is for me, okay? But these are both around the $500 range, too. You know, that's where people go, and they go like, okay, well, Traxxas is pretty cool, but I like the style of this better. And then they'll buy this, some of them will, okay, and then they'll try and beat the hell out of it, and next thing you know, they've got a bucket full of parts, okay. Let's take a look at the underside, okay. Take a bit of a look here. Now, do you see any kind of framing in here that can withstand a lot of serious smacks, or smacking into tree stumps really hard? I don't think so. I smacked something too hard on this thing and it's destroyed. Okay? Also, the bumper doesn't offer a lot of shell protection on this, where this one does. Front and rear actually does. Now, I have no rear bumper on this. This is just a roller right now, guys. I gotta spend a lot of money to get this thing going. And that's fine, but that's for the track only. Now, this thing is built like a brick. It is. I have smacked down hard on jumps. Okay, like just jumping in the backyard off the dirt mound. I'm sure some of you have seen my drunk driving video with this thing too. And I came and did some serious smacks on this thing. I've done other stuff with this thing, and you know, it's got a bend over and that sort of stuff. I took it out to the beach. I had some fun at the beach with it. You know, I drive this into the lake. I don't care. It's all waterproof. It comes right back out and stays running. But this machine is a beater machine. And look at the A-arms. I mean, these things are thick. Okay. I've got a lot of bumper reinforcement too on this machine compared to this one. Look at the A-arms on this. They're wussy. Okay? So this is not a basher vehicle. This is for the racetrack. This is to take anywhere you want and beat the daylights out of it and have fun. And it's also four-wheel drive. This is two-wheel drive. But that doesn't make a difference. They do make a Slash with two-wheel drive, which is actually a fun machine too. Okay, just fishtails a lot more. Okay, four-wheel drive doesn't fishtail as easy. So, but even the bumpers on this are strong built, thick plastic. This wussy stuff. Okay, even my Lucy XXX SCT that I had was a wussy built machine compared to the Slash. Whether it was a two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, didn't matter. Okay? But the Losi and this are race cars. They're not made to do the stuff that this is built to do. You know? And that's where you got to look at things too. Like when you buy an RC, especially when you spend some serious cash out, what are you buying it to do? What do you want to do with it? Right? Biggest question you got to ask yourself first. Okay, well, I want to be a racer and a basher. Then you need two trucks. You need two vehicles, not one. Okay? This is not Roar Race approved. Okay? Traxxas has not decided to get into the game yet. They do it with real vehicles, not with RCs. Okay? So, these are fun. This is Roar Race approved. Okay? Big difference, but it's a race car. It's built to race. It's built for small jumps, not for huge jumps. Okay? This is built to take pretty much anything you can dish at it, okay? And it does it really well. I've beaten the snot out of my wife's Stampede, and whenever we run 2-cell batteries in this thing or the Stampede, you know, we don't generally break stuff. She did once, and that's because she piled into a rock and she shattered her A-arm in about 6 pieces. It's really funny. Check out her channel on her repair. I think she got it up there. Anyways, my wife is Susan Millard, for those of you who want to know. Check out her channel. Anyhow, she has a lot of fun. She loves her Stampede so much. You know, I even told her, you know, now that you've done all kinds of videos, you should sell it. She's like, no! I love my Stamp. It's a fun machine. I said, yeah, well, whatever. Keep it. I don't care. But, you know, thing is these machines are built to take punishment. That's why you buy them, and you're paying for quality, you're paying for performance, and you're paying for bashability when you buy into a Traxxas machine, okay? So, and I'm not saying this stuff, you know, because I'm being paid to, okay? I'm not. Traxxas and me, we don't talk, okay, as far as, you know, I'm not sponsored by Traxxas, I have nothing to do with Traxxas, other than I own some Traxxas products, and I love their products, okay? Because some people will be like a little skeptical, oh, he's really building up that Traxxas, and he must be being paid. No. So, they don't even sponsor me. This machine, Team Durango, race truck. Just as equally as expensive as this 4x4, okay? Parts for this, I found out, are a little pricey, okay? But it's fine. I knew what I was getting into. You know, there's a huge difference between buying a competition class machine and a beater machine, okay? Parts price is one of them, okay? But the thing is when you're going into racing and you want to be a beginner racer and get into the pro racing, you need to buy race vehicles for that. Roar Race approved vehicles too. If you just want to beat the snot out of something, have a lot of fun, do some cool jumping, nothing wrong with any of that stuff, but not compete in the RC race world, this is a great choice. And there are other machines out there too. I just happen to have these two, okay? And we're only comparing bashers, racers. And you should be able to tell the difference when you're looking on a website what a racer is, what a basher is, no matter what brand. Okay, which is why we're not talking about other brands. Okay, so anyways, to do anything to this machine, now I can tell you from personal driving experience on this machine, it does well with stock tires, which it now has. It does very well as a stock setup on 2S. I've not put a 3S battery in this yet myself. I'm going to be doing that soon. And I know I'm going to rip my axles out when I do it, because every time I stick a 3S battery in my wife's machine, I shatter axles. Okay? It's like, oh man, too much power, Vlenyon. Vlenyon systems, let me tell you, they are pretty good. There are better systems out there, but they are really good, very powerful systems. Okay? And I love them. It's a great system. It's a great machine. And I mean, to rebuild a Vlenyon motor is like $13 for the bearing kit and new sleeves. Away you go, you're done in like half an hour in and out, right? Or less. But they are durability machines. This is durability. This is bashing. This is speed. And you know, Traxxas machines, a lot of guys are using rustlers to get them up to like 100, 140, 150 mile an hour. You know, they're also using the E-Revo, the big one, okay? The 110 scale. We all know it's 1.8, kind of like the Summit. We all know it's really 1.8, right? Anyways, they're using machines like that to get really super high performance speeds, okay? You can get really super high performance speeds even on a 2S battery, even out of this thing, if your gearing ratio is right. Now here's another thing, and this is going to happen, okay, once this is all set up. I'm going to drag race these two machines next year, okay? And I'm going to drag race them because it's the best way to see top end. Okay, getting around the track is going to be hard enough even for me to initially get used to it, figure out what kind of tires I'm going to need, etc. So, you know, I'm going to start with these tires on the track and see how they do, you know. And different tracks require different tires, different suspension tuning setups, etc. Right? So, but I'm going to race these basically stock for stock, and they're both going to have the same kilovolt motors. They're just not going to have the same ESC, but they will have probably the same batteries too, both 2S. Anyways, I want to see how much better this does over this, not just on takeoff, but in the long haul. I have a feeling already that this thing is going to smoke the Traxxas for a couple of reasons. One, it is two-wheel drive. It has less tension on the motor to get it going, okay? Number two, it's also a lot lighter machine, okay? Number three, the gearing ratio on the transmission itself. I'm not talking spur or pinion, I'm talking the main transmission. This is a racing transmission in this. This is not. So I have a pretty good feeling that this will smoke it, but we're going to find out. And we're going to do it on a 2S setup and a 3S setup and see how they both perform. Now I got a pretty good feeling that this is going to fishtail on takeoff, where this won't fishtail on takeoff too easily, okay? However, we're going to find that out next year, so you're going to have to be patient and wait, because I don't have enough money to get this thing running to do it this year, so this has to wait. So it's going to be my project, my long-term project. But anyways, so those are kind of the basics between race trucks and bashers, you know, what you can and can't do to them, you know, because there's a lot of people that are just so misled somehow, you know, when they're buying trucks, and they think they're buying something they can race and bash, when you can't really bash the crap out of this thing. You can't beat on it. Now, people have different ideas what bashing is about too. Bashing could be just, you know, because when you watch it on YouTube, right, bashing is doing up a video, you're just driving around your yard being an idiot, having fun, right? Or you're out on the road, you know, going up and down the road, maybe going into your ditches, whatever. That's a form of bashing, okay? Taking super high jumps and having fun and an adrenaline rush and making the thing do somersaults, that's bashing too. There's so many different types of things that are actually bashing. So when you talk bashing, okay, it opens up to a world of different types of areas and things that are going on that you're bashing with, right? Now, to me, bashing is also beating the snot out of your RC. You know, pushing it to its limits sometimes a little bit beyond, right? But this is the perfect machine. One of them anyways. There are several out there, okay? There's a lot of different brands, but this is one. Okay, I mean, you got ECX Torments, you've got, you know, other brands out there that are great bashers, okay? But any of these brands that are being sold as race machines that are Roar Race approved, those machines are not made or designed in any way to be able to handle the high torturous crap that these things can do, and others like it from other companies, okay? That's where they separate themselves too, right? So, basher beater, race vehicle, okay? Big difference. Anyhow, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I didn't cover, and, you know, whatever, it's fine. You can ask your questions, I'll do the best I can answer them, but I can't answer you as far as anything about racing yet, because like I said, I have no experience yet on the track with a race truck, okay? But I decided, you know, I mean, I got rid of the low-C, you know, got another deal on it, but I decided, you know what, if I'm going to get another race car, I'm going to get one. And I ended up coming across a deal that I did with a, you know, fellow friend and subscriber on YouTube, the Tank, and, you know, he had this thing, and I thought, well, hey, you know, and there are parts missing, and so it's a roller, right? And that's fine by me. I knew what I was getting into, and I'm okay with that. It's all cool. But this gives me a chance to also, because of the stuff that's missing, it gives me a chance to also do the upgrades right away. Because otherwise I wouldn't be. That's the thing. Because I'm kind of a want to get the darn thing running type of person. But in this case, I now have the opportunity to put in my own motor, my own ESC of my choice, batteries of my choice, battery brackets I can upgrade. Okay, I can go and I can upgrade the hex hubs inside. Okay, because these come with plastic. I can go metal right away because these ones are actually the wrong ones in the front tires. It's also why it's a pain in the neck. I can't get the tires off that easy. I still got to work on that, but no big deal. I found the hubs I need, and I'm going to go all metal right away. I'm going to tune this thing up for track use, but I'm not going to go mental with it, okay? I still need to get a back bumper system for it. This has rear and mid engine mounting too. It's a hybrid setup. I'm going to leave it as a back setup for the time being because, you know, it's just so much easier to access that stuff, and I like it that way. But I am going to tune this thing up for racing, okay? So it can at least make the grade to get on the track. And then we're going to race stock versus set up for race, okay? And see how things go. But it's a fun sport. RC is awesome. It's a great hobby, and it's great if you get into pro racing too and you become a professional RC racer. It's a lot of fun too. I don't think I'll ever go pro, but I'm going to have an awful lot of fun on the track with this thing for sure, in competing. And hey, if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. And I'm sure I'm going to lose more races than I'll win initially because I have to learn. And I have a lot to learn about throttle control, about the tires on the terrain, the suspension tunings, and all that stuff. I have a whole new world to learn with this thing, and that's great because I love learning new stuff about these race machines. You know, bashers, these things are not that much to learn, but there's a lot of fun stuff you can do to tweak and tune these and make them even better. The Slash, one of the biggest things I can tell you about the Slash that I don't like, and I don't think many other people do, is the suspension that comes with them. Okay, they're a progressive rate spring suspension, and it sucks. But I will be doing a review on this puppy, okay, down the road. I have a little bit more fun I want to have with it first, and then I'm going to give you guys a review on this. This one, don't look for a review for at least another year, okay, because I still got to finish putting it back together, back to normal, and going from there. And I want to race it a few times first, and then we'll talk about, you know, how well it does and all that jazz and so on. And we can go from there. But I want to talk to you guys about the differences between the two because a lot of people don't really realize that you can't use a race truck as a beat the crap out of truck. You know, if you want to beat the crap out of an RC, buy an RC that's designed and meant for that, okay? And I am going to be doing a video too on talking about crawlers and trail trucks. So stay tuned for that one. That one's coming up too. Anyways, till then, catch you later guys, and thanks for watching.